We've seen how equilibrium works on a graph. Now let's take it a step further and learn how to calculate equilibrium price and quantity step by step. Please subscribe so that you do not miss any sessions. And remember to like, to leave comments and questions. Let us start with our first example in calculating equilibrium price and quantity. Given the following equations for the demand and supply curves of X, quantity demanded equals to 200 minus 10p and quantity supplied equals to 50 plus 15p, find the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity of X. Remember, at equilibrium, quantity demanded equals to quantity supplied. That is 200 minus 10p equals to 50 plus 15p. The next step is to put like terms together. Remember, when you move a term to the opposite side of the equal sign, the sign changes. That is 200 minus 50 equals to 15p plus 10p. We can see here that 50 becomes minus 50, and moving 10p to the right hand side to its like term becomes plus 10p. And this gives us minus 150 equals to 25p, giving us p equals to 6. So to find our quantity, we substitute p into either QD or QS. And if we substitute it into QD, it becomes QD equals to 200 minus 10 times 6, which is 200 minus 60 equals to 140. If we substitute 6 into QS, it gives us QS equals to 50 plus 15 times 6 equals to 140. So what do we have here? We have our price at 6 and our quantity at 140. So let us plot that on our demand and supply graph. It shows the market clearing price of 6 and quantity at 140. What happens if the price of a factor input used in producing X decreases, resulting in a new supply curve given by QS equals to 100 plus 15p? So we need to calculate the new equilibrium price and the new equilibrium quantity. That is, we know that at equilibrium, quantity demanded equals to quantity supplied. But remember that quantity demanded hasn't changed. It remains at 200 minus 10p. However, our quantity supplied has changed to 100 plus 15p. Putting like terms together, we get 200 minus 100 equals to 15p plus 10p. Remember, it was minus 10p, but when you move it to the opposite side of the equal sign, the sign changes to plus 10p. That is 100 equals to 25p, giving us the price of 4. To find quantity, we substitute 4 into QS or QD. And if we substitute it into QS, we get QS equals to 100 plus 15 times 4, and it gives us a quantity of 160. If we substitute it into QD, we get the same result of quantity equals to 160. Plotting it into our demand and supply graph, we get a market clearing price of 6 equals to 140. That was the first one. And then when we plot our new price of 4 and 160, we know that a decrease in a factor input shifts the supply curve to the right or downward, increasing quantity supplied to 160. And as quantity supplied increases, price decreases to 4. So what is the effect of a decrease in an factor input? It shifts the supply curve to the right. It increases quantity supplied from 140 to 160. And as quantity supplied increases, prices decreases from 6 to 4. And we also have our new equilibrium now. Equilibrium shift, it's now at E2. Let us move now to our second example. Given the market for wine, QD equals to 400 minus 2p and QS equals to 3p minus 50. To find the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity, we equate quantity demanded equals to quantity supplied, which is 400 minus 2p equals to 3p minus 50, and we put like terms together. It becomes 400 plus 50 and 3p plus 2p. This gives us 450 equals to 5p, and it gives us a price of 90. And to get our quantity, we substitute p into either QD or QS, and that gives us QD equals to 400 minus 2 times 90 equals to 400 minus 180. It gives us a quantity of 220. And if we substitute price into QS, we get the same result, that is Q equals to 220. So we have our price at 90 and quantity at 220. Let us plot that on our demand and supply graph. So our market clearing price, it's 90 at quantity 220. Continuing with our example, suppose income increases. This time it's about income increasing, and the demand curve changes to QD equals to 500 minus 2p. Now we need to calculate the new equilibrium price and new equilibrium quantity. And we know that at equilibrium, quantity demanded equals to quantity supplied. So quantity demanded has changed. It's now 500 minus 2p. However, quantity supplied remains the same at 3p minus 50. And what we do next is we put like terms together. It becomes 500 plus 50, which was minus 50 on the right hand side, but now we are shifting it to the left hand side of the equal sign, so the sign changes to a plus sign from a minus sign. We say it's equal to 3p plus 2p, which was minus 2p on the left hand side, but we're shifting it now to the right hand side. It becomes plus 2p, and we get p equals to 110. And to get our quantity, we substitute price into either QD or QS. And substituting it into QD, we get QD equals to 500 minus 2 times 110. We get a quantity of 280. If we do the same with QS, substituting P into QS, we get the same results, that is quantity equals to 280. So let us plot that into our demand and supply graph. So what we know is that when income increases, demand shifts to the right or upward, right? And this means that demand increases from 220 to 280. And as demand increases, prices increase to 110. So what are we saying? What is the effect of an increase in income? As income increases, the demand curve shifts to the right. Quantity demanded increases from 220 to 280, and prices increase from 90 to 110. And we have our new equilibrium at point E2. That's it for this session. I hope your microeconomics is improving. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave comments or questions. The next lesson is on elasticity.